Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mama Magma Yoga. My name is Tamu, and I'm here this week with a Warrior 3 practice for you. We're going to explore this powerful balancing posture that strengthens the hips, the quads, the upper back, the arms, and builds strength overall throughout the body and challenges your balance. So why don't you slip into something that is great and feels comfortable to practice in, roll out your mat, and let's get to it. Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're practicing Warrior 3 today. So let's stand up nice and tall, bring the feet together, lift from the sternum, lengthen down through the tailbone. This pose is a powerful pose. It strengthens so many parts of the body and also challenges not only your balance, but your focus, your stamina, and really helps you to embrace that power within you that you already have there to tap into. So to go into this pose, we want to be standing in mountain. Feet are flush together or hip width apart, but for the sake of this tutorial, let's start with feet flush together. You can be standing at the head of your mat or wherever feels comfortable. I just want you to be able to see me, so I'm going to stay in the middle of my mat. You're going to stand up nice and tall, lengthen the tailbone down, lift from the sternum. Palms are shining forward, and you're really concentrating on feeling your connection to the earth through all four parts of your feet. So the big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, and the back two corners. You really want to feel where that connection is and distribute your weight evenly. This is really important for this pose. You really want to be feeling like you're grounded down to the earth, not feeling like you're out on the outsides of your feet or that you're in any way compromising your balance. So that's why it's also important to stand up nice and tall and find that plumb line that runs from the top of the crown all the way down to the tailbone, and that position where you feel like it takes no effort to stand. So once you've felt that out a little bit, it might even help you to lift your toes, really feel the pinky toe mound and the big toe mound of your foot, rock forward and backward. Just find that beautiful positioning where you're standing up nice and tall and you feel really strong in that posture. Then I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see me better now. We're going to start to transfer our weight to our right foot. Find your drishti out in front of you, so something to focus on that isn't moving, preferably down in front of you because you will be leaning forward. And you're transferring your weight to your right foot, as I mentioned, and you're starting to lift the left heel. So when you're doing this, you're really lifting from the right hip. You're not crashing into that right hip so that it's sticking out. You're not compromising that right hip at all. You're really lifting up and out of the hip because we're strengthening that area as well. So you're standing up nice and tall. Bring palms together at the heart. You're lifting that left heel. Perhaps you're starting to play with your balance by lifting the left knee. Breathing nice and deep. Then lift that left knee up, and perhaps you catch it for a moment. And just practice your balance here, really lifting up out of that right hip and finding your focus, lifting up tall with the sternum and relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Then bring palms together at the heart once again. And then we're going to begin to send the left foot back, stretching it out behind us, concentrating on really extending that heel out to the back edge of our mat. So if you have hip issues or you really feel off balance, you may want to have a chair here or practice against the wall. And you may want to keep your toes on the ground and just be practicing here, right? There's nothing wrong with this at all. So we're either here with our toes on the ground, or we're beginning to lift that left leg. We're really lifting from the left inner thigh. Hip points are dialed down. We're not opening through the hips here like we would through a half moon. As you can see, that sent me off balance. So we're really concentrating on keeping the hip points pointing downwards and lifting from this left inner thigh and really extending that left heel towards the back edge of the mat. Now you can keep your hands together at the heart and you're focusing on your torso being parallel with the floor. Whew. Take some concentration. So you can keep your hands together at your heart, soft bend in the right knee. So you don't want to be locking that knee. You want there to be a soft bend there. You can bring palms out beside you, palms facing down like you're pressing into an imaginary surface, airplane arms here. Or you can extend the arms overhead. This takes a lot more strength, really engages the arms and the upper back. So it depends on what version feels best in your body. Breathing nice and deep, really lifting from that left inner thigh. Breathe deep. And then to come out of the pose, bring that left knee back through center as best you can, keeping it in alignment, and then lift it back up towards the heart. Lift, 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 and then gently set it back down. Beautiful. Shake it out. You really might notice that that right hip was really working hard there. So you can shake out the legs. And then you can go ahead and try it on the other side. So bring your feet back together, nice and flush. Stand up nice and tall, bringing the hands to the heart, finding your focal point or your drishti out in front of you. Begin to transfer the weight to the left foot this time. We're going to begin to lift the right heel. So play with your balance here. If you have a chair that you're working with, then great, awesome. As I said before, you might want to be sliding those toes back and just playing here with beginning to tilt the torso with keeping a nice long line from crown to tail. If you want to take it a little bit further, then you begin to lift that right leg, really lifting from the right inner thigh. Leaning the torso over, becoming parallel with your mat. Lifting, 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 really extending through that right heel. Maybe you take a different position with the arms. Crown is reaching out towards the front edge of your mat. And there's a nice long line from crown to tail. Maybe you take airplane arms, pressing down into imaginary surface. Breathing nice and deep. Then bring palms back together at the heart, and we begin to bring that right knee back up through center, lifting it all the way up to our heart. Lift, 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 and then setting that right foot down. So as you can see, there's a lot going on in this pose, and you probably felt a lot happening there. So really concentrate on lifting from the inner thigh of the leg that is being lifted up and that is behind you, extending through that heel, having a nice long line from crown to tail, bringing your torso parallel with the earth. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for joining me for another asana practice. I hope to see you on the mat again soon. Namaste.